They have been thinking about you in silence, and the version of them that returns is not the same one that left, right? So, this isn't about missing you, it's about realizing that they messed up, okay? And before you scroll, let me tell you something very clearly. This message did not come to you randomly, right? If this is landing, it's because something has already shifted behind the scenes, okay? And you're about to understand why. Hello, guys, and I've picked my pile today. I have five cards in a pile, and this is going to be a fantastic reading. And without wasting any time, let's get into it because I'm so excited. And if I were to begin, I'll have to talk about the Knight of Cups, the first card in the pile. This talks about their emotional awakening. Okay, let's start with them because their energy is loud right now. And this person has been emotionally restless, I would say. And I don't mean to say dramatic and not chaotic either, but something is unsettled, okay? They've been thinking about you in moments when they least expect it, okay? Somehow, late at night, it could be late at night, or it could be in quiet pauses during the day, or when something reminds them of you and they cannot shake it, okay? They cannot just forget about it, they cannot just shake that thought away. So I'm seeing that they're replaying the conversations, moments where they felt safe with you. And it's very hard because they are constantly replaying these moments where they almost said more but did not. Okay? So what's changed is this: they are no longer running from how they feel. What's um and this isn't a crush energy, you guys. This isn't impulsive attraction either. This is regret. Okay, it's intense, it's heavy, it's a regret mixed with emotional clarity, I would say. And they're realizing that you did not demand too much. They are getting that right now in their life, but I feel like it's kind of too late. And you simply asked for what they weren't ready to give at the time, okay? And now they're thinking about approaching you differently. They're about to approach you, they want to approach you, and they want to do it really um, gentle this time. They do not want to miss out on this, and they do not want to ruin this chance. They're thinking about approaching you. And like I said, they want to approach you more gently and more honestly. And they really don't want to get their ego that once held them back. They do not, they've realized the mistakes behind their ego getting in between constantly, but they are aware of it. They do not want it anymore coming in their way. And this is all about the Knight of Cups. And the next card, are you ready? The Queen of Wands. Oh my god. Let's talk about your energy now. We spoke about their energy through this card, and let's talk about your energy through the Queen of Wands. You guys, now really, I want to talk about you because your energy is the reason this entire shift has happened, okay? You've stepped into a version of yourself that does not chase or explain or overextend anymore. You're simply at a point where you're just choosing peace. You do not want to chase anymore. You're past that. You choose no drama. You really want no drama. You want just peace in your life at this moment. And you really used to be this person who constantly over explained or went out of their way to kind of make the other person understand, but anymore you're not that person. You really care about your peace a lot, you really care about yourself a lot, and right now you're confident, okay, but you're definitely not loud about it, and that makes you more magnetic to that person, and you're definitely not trying to be magnetic, but the the version that you are right now just makes you more charismatic and magnetic and warm. You are extremely warm. People can feel the warmth around you, but you definitely are not accessible to just anyone, okay? You do not seek validation anymore, and this is the best part, and this is something that has been hard for many people to digest about you. And like I said, you definitely do not seek validation, and this is something that you're extremely grateful for, that you've reached a point in your life where you're simply choosing yourself for the first time. And I know how hard that must have been for you, but you really are aware that this is something that you're going to be carrying with you for life, okay? And you don't prove your worth anymore. You just are, I mean, you just care about your self worth, and you do not want to prove it to anyone. You just care about it. You just care how it looks for you in your own little world, for yourself and nobody else, right? You do not put any efforts into pleasing someone. You don't fight to be chosen either. And people can really feel that. People can genuinely feel that change from you. You walk differently now. You're a different person altogether right now. You speak differently, you walk differently, you hold yourself differently, and you're definitely not cold. I when I say these things that are different about you, I definitely don't mean that you are cold. You are selective, and it's surprising for a personality like yours, because you used to be a people pleaser, but in a good way, right? You really cared about people, you really worried about people, and you used to be that person who really made, I mean, went out of their way to please someone in a good way. But hence, I mean, anymore, you're not that person. You do not want to drain the energy out of you and pour it into someone that may not be even worth it, right? And like I said, you're not cold, you're selective, and that's exactly why these people are drawn back in. It's just something that's so unexplainable, the magnetism or the charisma about you. But I'm telling you, you just focus on yourself. The rest will fall into place, okay? Because you look like someone who finally knows their worth, their power, and you're not afraid to walk away if something doesn't align with you, okay? And this is true, and it's gonna be this way forever, and I really want you to protect this thing about you, okay? I really want you to sit down with this thought, and I mean, appreciate it, and just acknowledge it, okay? Because it's something that you've never had in your life. The power, the strength to just walk away from something if it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align with you. But so right now, you are that person. Right now, you've reached a point in your life where you really have the strength and the knowledge to walk away from something if it doesn't align with you, okay? And that was about a Queen of Wands. The next thing I want to talk about, the next pick, was the Eight of Pentacles. You guys, oh my god, I'm gonna talk about what you have been doing. I mean, just look at this card, Eight of Pentacles. Do you see this? While they were emotionally processing these people or that person, I know you're thinking about that person, you know that you were building. You were building quietly. You've been putting quiet effort and work, serious amount of work in yourself. Uh, you've been healing patterns. You've been strengthening your boundaries. You've been building. You've been drawing a line, and you know your boundaries right now. You've been strengthening your boundaries. You've been creating stability where there used to be emotional exhaustion. Okay, even on days when you doubted yourself, even when you missed them, to be very honest, you did not abandon yourself. You chose consistency over chaos, over drama. You chose yourself over chaos and drama. Okay, you chose growth over comfort. You were actively putting effort into yourself, and that is something that you've gotten from this entire pain or hurt or whatever you've witnessed in your life. Okay, you've got to, you've chosen peace over attachment. Okay, you really have changed. Like I said before, you really have changed and for the better. Okay, and this matters more than you realize, to be honest, because you're no longer operating from lack. You're no longer operating from lack. Please get this in your head. I'll repeat it again. You are no longer operating from lack. Okay, you're no longer waiting for someone to complete you. You have realized your worth. You've realized that you are enough. Okay, and that is fantastic, you guys, and that's extremely good news for you, and you know that. Okay, because you know the person that you were, and you know the person that you've become, and still are in the process of becoming. And I'm proud of you, and I just know that you are proud of yourself as well. I really want you to take some time and reflect on that person that you've become and acknowledge the good qualities and the good characteristics or good traits that you've tapped into to become that person. You are proud of this version of yourself because it's something that you only dreamed of at one point in your life, and to really look back or just reflect on your life right now to think that you really have become that person. I mean, who wouldn't be proud, right? You really need to give yourself a pat in the back. um, you've been doing the inner work that changes timelines. Okay, everything is gonna change drastically in your life from here on, and it will show. Okay, enough about Eight of Pentacles. I think this truly is fantastic, and I can go on and on about it. But if I were to talk about the next card of our pile, it is the Hermit. Okay, this might be a little heavy, but I'm gonna tell you and talk about the distance that changed everything. Okay, this card explains the silence, and that's really important to talk. That's really important for me to talk about because I would like to tell you about your life. What you did was not wrong, okay? I will tell you that you did not disappear to punish them. You didn't pull away to manipulate, and you know that. And you really think that many people would have thought that way about you, but you really did not do that to punish them or to, I mean, get a revenge on them. You pulled away because you needed clarity and because you've had enough bullshit from them, you guys. You've stopped reaching out. You know that you've stopped reaching out. You know that you've stopped explaining yourself. You know that you've stopped trying to be understood by someone who wasn't ready to meet you at where you were. And I don't know if that makes sense, but I think I'd like to repeat that so you truly engrave that in your brain. You stopped trying to be understood by someone who wasn't even ready to meet you where you were, okay? And that distance did something powerful. And I spoke about all the changes that brought in you. That's what the distance did to you, okay? And it forced them to sit with themselves, okay? They felt your absence. If you're thinking, you know what, I've done ba da 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 to yourself, to myself, and I really have become this better version, but do you ever realize how um, they could feel your absence? They felt your absence, but they realized how much emotional safety you provided to them. But they only realized it after it was gone. So it needed to happen. It needed to happen for them to have realized that, and for you to have realized that too, okay? And sometimes silence speaks louder than words. You know this, right? And this silence, it rewired everything, okay? For you and for that person as well, okay? The last card of our pile is the King of Cups. I'm going to talk about the return energy over here. This is the final energy, and that is this energy is it's mature, okay? I want to tell you that this person is coming back more emotionally grounded. They're going to reach out back to you. It is up to you to what you're going to do with them, but I'd still say you really have to hold on to your peace, hold on to the version of your new self. But it's up to you if you want to forgive them and take them back in your life. But I'll tell you that this person is definitely coming back, but they're definitely more emotionally grounded, okay? They're not perfect. They are not perfect, but they're aware. This time they're aware and they're coming back, okay? They're much calmer. They are much calmer, you guys. Something that lacked in them the entire time. They weren't that calm person that you always wanted them to be, okay? But this time they're gonna come to you calmer, and they are more capable of holding space instead of running from it, okay? They've learned their lesson. They've learned emotional restraint. They're definitely learning how to communicate instead of react. This is something you always expected from them but never had, okay? They always reacted, never knew how to communicate, and this time they've learned that and they're coming back to you with the ability to communicate well with you, okay? They're finally understanding that true love requires responsibility, okay? And here's the most important part: you are no longer the version of yourself that accepts half effort, okay? If this connection moves forward, it does so with honesty, consistency, and emotional presence, okay? And the cards show. They know that now. They understand that access to you is no longer guaranteed. And listen to me, like I'm sitting right next to you, okay? You did not lose them by choosing yourself. You taught them what it costs to not show up properly. And whether they return ready or simply give you closure, your life has already shifted for the good, okay? You're no longer waiting to be chosen. You're choosing what aligns, okay? And I really want to tell you this. to save this video, because when they reach out, they're gonna remember that you felt it coming. Okay, this is the version of your life where things stop hurting and they'll start making sense. Okay, I mean, what's meant for you is coming your way, and it's up to you to take the call. I really would love for you to like and go comment in the comment section. And if you feel the shift, comment down, I choose myself. Okay, and save this video, because really you're gonna look back at this moment and think this is when everything locked in. Okay, I'll see you in the next one, you guys.